Tembisa residents are marching following several incidents of child abductions, rapes and murders. A week ago, 3 children were raped and killed. Police and community members are currently searching for 2 minors who have disappeared. Another child escaped an attempted abduction recently. For more on the story, let's cross live to our reporter, Nosipho Mncube. Morning to you, Nosipho. You're in Tembisa. What are you hearing from the residents this morning?
A very good afternoon to you, Desiree. As you have mentioned, that they have marched to the Ruby Ridge police station. They have addressed a number of issues that they have with the law enforcement officials in the area. They've handed over the memorandum to them, which they expect feedback from within the next 7 days. The police officials that accepted the memorandum did indicate that they will be in communication with members of the community to try and address some of these issues, that being the prioritization of cases that deal with gender-based violence, as well as the protection of children in the area. To speak to me more on this, because earlier we did touch on the fact that there were several child abductions, rapes, as well as murders that were taking place in the past several weeks. But I have here Unono, who is an activist, so to say, in the area, who has followed all these cases, as well as everything that has been reported in the area with all the parents that are involved. And she will be able to tell us in depth as to what are the issues that they're facing exactly, as well as give us some of the numbers of the children who are affected by this. Sis Nonongoba, thank you for your time. You have mentioned earlier that you have followed through with these issues since the very beginning. Can you take us through that journey? How everything, your challenges basically, how they began in the area, walk us through the children that have been affected by these abductions, these rapes, as well as the murders.
Okay. Sanbonani, case yabantwana abadlengulayo Phomolong, iyanda every day. These things started last week Friday, when we were attending a meeting as umphakathi wase Phomolong, whereby sibize umama, a stepmom, salomntwana wokuqala esiqale ukuhlangana ngaye outrage umalume thizeni, umalume which is ubaba uyamazi nogogo wakhe uyamazi, bebamthengisa umntwana kulo malume loyo ukuthi bafuna amaphepha okuhlala eMzantsi Africa, as umntwana since erage from last year February. Mase sisilandelela istory ukuthi umntwana makaqala ukurage last year February azange bathatha ama steps. So umama stepmother lesi ahlala naso khane akhuluma atshela umphakathi last week Friday, umphakathi wathatha iaction ukuthi mama, let's take the child to the police station. Saletha umntwana la police station, kwavula ama case kwenziwa konke. Sithe sesifikile la police station, amaphoyisa asitshela la eRuby Ridge ukuthi bayayazi indaba yalo mntwana from last year. Ugogo walandwa, ugogo samfonela nobaba wafonela. Ubaba by indlela siza la umphakathi simasha size police station because umama uye wathi there's no case number zangazayithola police station. Sathi if there's no case number asambe nise police station, so funani case number yalo mntwana ukuthi kuzotholakala ubulungiswa, ngoba besingasathembi whether umama she's lying or bekakhuluma iqiniso na, because bekunezinto eziningi, there are too many things ezenzakalayo nezinkulumo. That is why umphakathi siyayithatha le ndaba sathi sesiyenze yethu. This child sikabelonga kumphakathi, though kumntwana wangaphandle and kumqashi, kodwa siyesamloyela ngalendlela ukuthi masifika la amaphoyisa asho ukuthi ayayazi indaba yomntwana. Umntwana by last week Friday uphindiwe futhi ukurejwa. That is why masibuya la icase yakhona thathela phezulu basho ukuthi uisuspect lo malume lo amkhombile umntwana ngoba uye wathatha ama CPF wase Phomolong ukuthi akhombe ukuthi is this the man okurepile na wasevuma umntwana wamkhomba wathi this is the man ongrepile. Umphakathi wadila naloyo malume loyo, umalume until ukuze ashaywe ingoba beyangafuna ukuparticipate, angafuna ukuveza amaqiniso umntwana ekhuluma, sekungathi umntwana uyahlanya. As the father ubabakhe uthi icase uzoyicisha, uzoza azokhipha le suspect erape lo mntwana thina siwumphakathi.
Just to translate what she had said so far. So they followed a case from last week Friday where a child was found to be raped allegedly by her uncle in exchange for citizenship, from what I'm understanding. And that's when the community took it upon themselves, having communicated with the stepmother of the child, that they will be following through with police to see where investigations are going with this case in particular. Just saying as now as well that they found that she was raped again last week Friday, and that's when they decided to take matters more seriously, bringing the police in, getting them involved with regard to trying to make those arrests, and also hearing that the community took it upon themselves to deal with this man who is believed to have raped this child because he was not cooperating with police. That's what I understand so far. So lamanye amacala that you've seen taking place, I've heard ukuthi sekshone abantwana, I think 3 children so far that have been abducted and found dead. Can you speak to us more about that as well?
Okay, nakula macala lawa labantwana barejiwe futhi. Uma silandelela again, kukhona ukuthi abantwana they've been raped by ama families. Into isekhaya, into ekuthiwa umama makathule angayikhulumi ezumphakathi the way uyithole ngakhona. Abantwana babhizi bayarejwa, abobaba bathi ungayikhulumi lento le, umntwana into bathi into abayaziyo. We don't know, asazi ukuthi khona into ekuthiwa umntwana makarejwe, into eyaziwe, or it's culture or it's what. So lo abantwana mabarejwa bonke ngebhadi kuyokuba khona oyi1 washona, makushiwo the way bambone ngakhona abomthetho nabama forensics, umntwana ngathi bamfake ibhodlela ngaphansi, ulimele nje, ukhathiwe, and all sort of bad things ezenzakele kuloyo mntwana loyo. But the family now, naye umama ukhulume sekulate ngazothi izinto bekudala zenzeka the way kungakhona njengale case yokuqala. Wonke lama cases lokusiwalandelela ngathi wonke ayafana. But manje sekuvumbuke izinto eziningi ePhomolong, kukhona imoto vele ezikhona, sisola ukuthi ngazothi labo bantu labo abantu abahlala abomakhelwane, abantu abahlala lapha ePhomolong babamba abantwana babafake emotweni babathathe babe-rape. As day before yesterday again ebusuku masiceda ukuhlukana ngemeeting yokuthi sikhuluma ukuthi today siza la, masiceda ukuhlukana ngabo 7 ngabo 8 abantwana babathuma to abomama bathengisa ama-veg estradini, na imoto yaqhamuka ifike ithola labantwana bahamba bayi 3, maybe it's 15, 13 and a 6-year-old amantombazana bayothenga lapha emavejini, imoto ifike idonse labantwana, bazame ukuzilwela abantwana basusele omncane ngenhlanhla, bathe mabakhona ukuzilwela labantu laba babaleke, but imoto ayitholakalanga. And the way kubonakala ngakhona ayiphumanga ePhomolong because umphakathi uphumile uyigijimise ayitholakalanga.
All right, so she's just touched on the rape cases that they see in Phomolong, basically saying that a lot of the time families within themselves are protecting these perpetrators because they are within the spaces, within the families. She's also touched on one case in particular where a child was found dead and she was raped as well, but we will be speaking to the parents of that child a little later just to hear the story there in Phomolong. But to speak to me more as well, I have 2 young ladies who were speaking earlier as well and addressing the community about their challenges that they're facing as residents and as young children in Phomolong. Thank you so much for speaking to me. You were basically just explaining to police, demanding for them to protect you as young women in Phomolong. I know you are in a matric now. You're obviously preparing to write your finals. Over and above that, the anxiety of living as a young black woman in Phomolong. Just speak to us about that.
What I'm going to start with is, it's not only about Phomolong, it's not only about Tembisa, and it's not only about Johannesburg as a whole. It's about South Africa as a whole. There are many cases that are reported South Africa as a whole. There are many people who are facing different challenges of life, but then the gender-based violence cases are not reported as exactly as they report COVID-19 cases. What is happening now in our nation is something that is painful, is something that caused a lot of pain, because as children we're not afraid to go outside. Why? Because ngisaba ukuthi ubaba uzongithumba, ngisaba ukuthi indoda izongibulala, ngisaba ukuthi ubhuti uzongidlwengula. It's very painful to live in such a community. Because no, harisa khona lo phela the way we were living before. No, harisa khona lo, even though a person calls you on a car to say, you know what, can you please give me a direction to this and this place? You're even afraid to give that person a direction. Why? You no longer trust anybody. Lana, like, you're not only pleading with the police, we are also pleading with the government. We're also pleading with the president to touch more on this fact of gender-based violence, to touch more on this children abuse, to touch more on this women abuse, because we are facing pain. We know that COVID-19 is a threatening disease, but we also have a threatening virus that occurs nationally. We also have a threatening virus that occurs in our communities. It's not only about COVID-19, it's also about gender-based violence. We are pleading with them to can please touch those facts, to can please tell us more, tell the nation more, tell everybody that needs to know, because as saphili kamnandi, we're no longer enjoying what we were enjoying before. So kubuhlungu manje. Thank you.
I'll move on to you, Siswam. Just speak to me very briefly about your experience, why it was important for you to be here as well.
Mina ukuze ngize lana, it was because baningi abantwana abashonayo, baningi abantwana abarejwayo. Mina njenge youth, I saw ukuthi it's good ukuthi ngize nami njengabantu nami ngizosupporta, because nami who knows ukuthi ngahlala endlini bese iyenzeke kimi, while I know ukuthi angizanga lana. I was supposed to ukuthi ngize, then ngihlele endlini kwaba yilento ukuthi no, I'm not coming, mina angisoze ngayiphiwe, then the next day kuba yimi orejwayo. For me it was a good thing ukuthi also lama leaders engihamba nawo, I was chosen as a youth leader, also ama leaders hamba nawo just to say thank you, because I think izosinceda kakhulu lento emphakathini wasePhomolong, because baningi abasebashonile. Even last year bebaningi, but then police abayenzi nix, they don't take ama cases, bayahlala bayathula abantu, like batizwa kantle, bafwa ditšhelete, ba bang ba ntšhiwa kantle, o bereka kantle as a sex worker. Ho botlhoko as nna ke le ngwana o tshwele maybe ho kidnapilwe nna go bereka as a sex worker kantle, cause ba bantši ba rapiwa ka montle ka mo, and it's really painful.
Thank you so much. That's, experiences of the young women here in Phomolong, as well as what you've heard from Sis Nolongoba about the experiences and the challenges that they're facing as a community. Just 2 nights ago, she's explained to us about the attempted abduction of the 3 young girls who were going to buy some vegetables for their parents, and they were nearly abducted in this car that the community tried to run after, but unfortunately could not find the people that were trying to abduct these children. So police have said that they will be in communication with the community. As I said earlier, they will be giving them a response and some feedback, and they do maintain that they will try and do better by their community with regard to patrolling and increasing their presence within the community just to try and alleviate some of the issues that they are facing here. But that is it from here in Phomolong. Back to you in studio.
Nosipho, thank you so much. As harrowing as these stories are, it's quite encouraging to see communities come together to ensure that they put a stop to it.